And today we're actually going to be doing a bit of a cool look at a modeling hack. Now, this is my entry for Makanaman's contest, his I believe 3,000 subscriber contest. Congrats to him. It's definitely really cool to have that huge amount of subscribers, and yeah, so his contest guidelines were basically make a video showing some sort of reviewing some sort of model product or some sort of money saving sort of modeling tidbit. Alright, so today I'm going to be reviewing the most essential thing that has literally came into my life for a modeling career as of late, which are these things. They are little joints from Daiso. These are really cool. They are actually called flexible pop holder slide type. There are 3 different versions. There's a 1, a 2, and a 3. This is the first one, which includes 6 joints, which if you cut them all. And then the second one just includes 3 joints, and the third one includes 3 joints as well. Now, let me go ahead and take a look at these outside the packaging. So, go ahead and cut them open. You can get them at pretty much any Daiso. I've been finding them pretty much at every Daiso. Daiso is a Japanese store, for those who don't know. They sell everything for about $1.50, so you get some pretty good deals there. So yeah, so here they are out of the packaging. Now you have, for this number 1 slide type, you basically get a little claw part, and then you get the sliding part where you would actually put a card. Not only are these effective for holding up store signs, but they also are very good for modeling. So let's go ahead and take a look how that works. So first off, what I would usually do is I would put, since it's only a single joint, there's a cut in right here, so it only really allows for that much of a bend. But if you go ahead and take a soldering gun and you just poke or melt the slightest little hole in there, that will allow this joint to actually be loose enough to, like, you can pop it out. As of right now, because there's no hole around the whole mouth of this little ball joint area, if you try to pop it out, you would actually snap the joint. So definitely don't do that. These ones can pop out because they have a little hole. So this, see if I can find one that, this one. So they can actually pop out because of this little holes there. So that's what I would usually do. I would cut a hole. Now you can cut the hole in different places to allow for different times of bend. You can cut one right here on the side instead of right here in the front, so you can allow for a different kind of bend where the shoulder would be right here and then the arm would be right here. So there's definitely plenty of possibilities for cutting joints in there. Now what's interesting is that this is actually tempered plastic, so you would have to shatter it. It's not easy to cut through. Actually, it's very difficult because it's tempered. So what you would actually have to do is make sure you have it inside of a trash can, not outside of it, because if you do, when you cut it, it's actually going to shatter. So but yeah, the only problem you really need to worry about is this part, because when you cut it, when it shatters, it won't always be even. So what I find to do is if you just hold it down really tight and then take your nippers or whatever you use to cut and just like crunch it really hard and really fast, it'll usually create a nice smooth cut and not mess up too much. So there's that. Let me show you with my nippers. Basically what you would do is you would cut this to whatever length you want. If you really want a long joint, you would cut it like that, and it's an okay cut because you have to cut through, but maybe just my nippers. And then as for this end with the claw end, since you don't really need that end, what you can go ahead and do is you can just cut it. There's 2 holes right here. Just slide your nippers in there, cut it, and then it'll just come right off, and you can clean it up. You can put this into different shapes, and then that will give you your joint, which is relatively small too. So yeah, so the first pack comes with 3 of them, or 3 of the 2 sets, so you get 6 joints in all. That's pretty useful. Usually I just throw these away since they're not really useful. So let me just go ahead and show you what you can use them for. So here I have my Victory Amethyst Gundam from Build Fighters Try, and now it's actually pretty well hidden back here. This is the joint, and it allows for the swords to actually move up and down. So there's that, and it's pretty small too. Next up, let's show off the G armor, or the G bomber from Build Fighters Try, which is Team G Master. So right here, it's actually right here in the shoulder joint, which gives the shoulder that much articulation. It's also right here underneath in the shoulder armor right here, since there's 2. And yeah, so it allows for a lot of articulation in here. And then next up we have some other stuff that I've done in the past and used the joints. So here's a bigger bind. A bigger bind actually has the joints inside of his body. I don't know if you can see it very well there. That's actually how his shoulders attach onto his body, and also his waist, his torso, hip area also has that joint in there. It definitely gives him a lot of articulation, but at the same time, it kind of expands his hip section. So if you're doing it for a hip joint in the hip area, then you have to kind of make sure that it's a stocky kind of Gundam. Like here's Perfect Gundam that I did, 1/244 scale Perfect Gundam. Now he actually has the joint inside of his not arms. Oh, right here in the cannon. The cannon has the joint right here because you know. And then also he has it underneath inside of his in his hips as well. Yep, and they're nice and tight and solid, and they allow for him to have articulation. So there's Perfect Gundam. So yeah, it's just some minimal stuff that you can use these joints for. They're pretty cool and pretty fun, and they're definitely pretty useful. I definitely recommend people going out and buying them if you just don't want to pay for those Hobby Wave joints, because especially Hobby Wave joints, they're really expensive, or Yellow Submarine, or any of those option part joints. Although those come in smaller sizes and varying sizes, they may be useful, they may be not. You know, it just depends on how much you really want to pay for them. So that's pretty much it for this review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little model hack. If you guys are definitely interested, I definitely want to show off more of what I kind of do to build stuff exactly. So I'll see you guys next time.